Something beyond comprehension is happening to a little girl on this street, in this house.
Unfortunately, guys, today we're not talking about that one. Alright, I'll be honest, guys, this review is going to be a bit different. I'm putting more energy and effort into this review than the filmmakers probably put into this movie. It's probably a quality review that this movie doesn't deserve, but you know, we're going to have a lot of fucking fun today as we tear apart this goddamn movie. I cannot believe how bad this movie was. This was unacceptably bad, and I knew going in, a lot of people were telling me it was going to be bad. A lot of people were warning me it was going to be bad, and it was still that fucking bad. Now, of course, this is David Gordon Green's follow-up to his Halloween trilogy, and this was made by Blumhouse. So let's hear it up for them. Let's hear it for David Gordon Green, everyone. Yeah.
The Academy would like to present this award to The Exorcist Believer and David Gordon Green, as well as Jason Blum, for their efforts in this amazing film. Its artistic values at making people depressed, especially fans of the franchise of Exorcist, is exquisite.
Their bravery for making this movie cannot be measured. Thank you. Alright, let's get into this fucking review. Oh, also, I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but I'm getting into spoilers. So yeah, just letting you guys know, spoilers ahead. This movie sucks, and I'm going to warn you guys about it. So stay tuned. So Exorcist Believer takes place 50 years after the first movie. Apparently, this one ignores the sequels, which it has no right of doing, but this one does take place sometime after the first movie. We do follow these characters who at the beginning of the movie are off in another country, and while they're there, there's an earthquake that happens, and it's up to the lead character, Victor, to decide who dies, the mother or the daughter. Because there's an accident that happens to where he has a choice to choose which one dies. He chooses the mother, the daughter lives, takes place years later, and his daughter is friends with another person at school whose parents apparently don't know they're even friends. They go off into the woods, they disappear for some time, it basically becomes a prisoner's ripoff for about 10 minutes. They come back, they act weird, and we find out that they are possessed by demons. Now, essentially, at face value, bare minimum plot there, which, honestly, I didn't even do much to cut down that plot description. That's literally the movie. And if you're a fan of The Exorcist, going into this movie, a lot of people don't know about the sequels. It's a bit sad that Exorcist 2 and 3 do get sort of forgotten. I do think everyone should check out Exorcist 2, even though I would say I'm not personally a fan of it. I think it's got a lot more to offer than this movie does. I think it's got a lot more visuals. It's got John Borman directing. It's wild out of its mind, but at least it was different. At least it took a chance. It was different in its own bizarre way. It's sort of like that weird thing in the corner that you just look at and you go, yeah, that's a thing. Whatever that means. But yeah, Exorcist 2 I think is better than this. Exorcist 3 I think is way better than this. And sadly, I would even say something like Exorcist the Beginning is better than this movie. And it's sad that those movies all kind of just got forgotten for a while. And this is the movie that re-sparked Exorcist. And a lot of people don't know about the sequels, unfortunately, so this is 50 years in the making. They waited 50 years to get this movie, and this pile of doo-doo is what they gave us. So if I'm going to get into this movie, I'm going to try and say some positives first. Let's get into the positives. It was cool seeing Ellen Bernstein come back. It was cool seeing her and Reagan get back together for those moments. that they had together, the acting, the emotion was there. And I honestly just wanted to see a legacy sequel with them. I did not want to see these new characters. I didn't care about them. Nothing about these new characters were interesting at all. And the movie did no attempt to try to make them different or interesting or stick out a little bit. They're all just generic characters, nothing to them. But it was cool seeing Ellen Bernstein come back. It was cool, like I said, at the end of the movie, seeing Reagan there. And it was neat seeing these characters once again. And out of the new characters, I would say probably the best character is Victor, the lead character, the father character. The acting was good, and I thought the character was decent. It was just they really didn't try anything with this character to get him to be more involved in the movie and to make you care about this guy. It honestly felt like the actor was doing everything he could. He basically carried that role. The script had absolutely nothing to help him with. He was basically carrying this character on his shoulders. He was doing the best he could. He did a fine job. The character was decent. And the film, I guess it doesn't look too bad. It, for the most part, is decent looking. I would say that it doesn't really look that bad as far as the cinematography goes, but that's not really saying much. They tried to have an interesting idea with the ending, and I will say the movie has interesting concepts, different stuff that we haven't seen before in a possession movie. The idea of two people being possessed at once and their heartbeats are linked, so if one dies, the other dies, whatever one goes through, the other feels. That's interesting. You have an idea of a POV of what the possessed person sees in hell. Cool idea. Why the hell did they not utilize that more in this movie? It freaking boggles my mind. And you know what? Fuck it. We're getting right into the negatives here. There was so much potential for this movie. There was so much time to make this movie. The last Exorcist movie that came out was back in 2005. So you've had from then to now to make this movie, and this is what you give us. Sadly, I will take Halloween Ends any day over this movie. Halloween Ends has more interesting ideas. Halloween Ends has more to offer than this movie does. This movie's script is so goddamn horrible, it's so goddamn incompetent, that there are literally moments in the movie where you can tell that there's nothing logical happening. It's just sort of stuff happening to be popcorn on the screen, to give you something to look at. Oh my God, here's a scene where someone gets headbutted across the room. Here's a scene where Ellen Bernstein, in her 10 minutes of screen time, gets her goddamn eyeballs gouged out for no reason. Just to say, well, it's risky, it's different. No, fuck that. Fuck that. What it is a lame reason to bring that character in, and first of all, make her look kind of bad, because Reagan apparently doesn't want anything to do with her anymore, because she wrote a book about what happened. So you make that ruined. Reagan is nowhere to be seen in this movie until the very fucking end. So you bring back Linda Blair for the very fucking end of the movie. You've got to be shitting me. And you can literally tell that this movie was not even supposed to be an Exorcist movie. It literally feels like somebody out there was writing a script as a different movie, a drama or something, and then they said, you know what, good idea, good script, bro. We're going to put Reagan here at the very end, we're going to put Ellen Bernstein here, and for some reason this guy knows where she is, finds her. For some reason, this lead character, while he is a skeptic about everything, he's also very accepting of possession and everything that's going on. And everybody, like 10 or 13 people, help him with this possession, this exorcism scene. We'll get to that later. But this dude finds Ellen Bernstein, tracks her down to help him, tells her his story and everything. It's just such a ridiculous plot that when you're watching it unfold, it doesn't feel natural at all. It doesn't feel logical at all. You're wondering how the hell this man found her. There is a heavy, heavy amount of script issues in this movie. There are script issues where things happen for no reason. And the one thing that the original Exorcist wasn't is generic and monotonous. Everything in the original Exorcist has purpose. You go back and watch that movie, there's things to this fucking day that I can remember about that movie that I can sit there and be like, oh yeah, that background detail. To this day. You know how many times I've seen The Exorcist? A good 10 or 11 times. And the thing is, the moment that you slap that Exorcist logo on the screen, guys, they use the same font. Isn't that cool? They use the same font, guys. They use tubular bells. Did you guys catch that? Yeah, Exorcist 3 did that right, where use tubular bells, whatever the fuck, however you say it. They use that song at the very beginning, and then it fades into its own score. This movie? Music? What music? You mean the little piano notes that you get here and there? I can't even hum a piece of music from this movie that's not in the original Exorcist. The only good piece of music is Tubular Bells. And the way they edit it into the movie sometimes can work, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it feels right, sometimes it feels stupid. They don't even explain what demons these are, where they come from, how these girls got possessed. The only thing that we get is they go out into the woods for about 10 minutes, and oh my god, it's been a couple days later, and they've come back, and what's happened? That's all we get. We don't even know who the hell these characters are. I don't know a thing about them. Why am I supposed to care? Because they're kids? It's like, no, I don't even know who they are. Like, what the fuck? I cannot believe also how badly this movie is edited. There are scenes that are so sporadic that add filters and they're going to add this fade out and this fade in. And I know this video has a lot of editing shit in it. But you know what? I'm not being paid $1 million to edit an Exorcist movie. The editing in this fucking movie is all over the goddamn place. There's literally scenes that are so goddamn distracting because of how sporadic the editing is. And yes, I said before the movie doesn't look that bad, but there are literally times where it feels like a TV movie. Like a TV horror movie. Like something that you would see on Sci-Fi Channel or something. Like there is some shots in this movie that look decent, and then there's some shots like a sci-fi movie. Something that looks cheap. You know, it's just, my god, man. David Gordon Green didn't bring much to this movie. Even Halloween had a little bit of David Gordon Green here and there. He had at least left a thumbprint on those movies, somewhat. I can look at those movies and I can say, yeah, that's David Gordon Green trilogy. This movie? What is David Gordon Green about it? Nothing. There's no humor that works. I don't even think there is humor in the entire movie, or if it's there, it sucks. No scares, no thrills, no suspense, no action. Even the ending, while it has some cool ideas, it's nothing special. It's nothing interesting. You know what's a better Exorcist movie than this? Deliver Us from Evil. Go check that out. 2014 starring, Eric Bana or David Bana? Eric Bana, I think is the guy's name. Go watch that movie. That's a good movie. Go watch The Last Exorcism. I think it has problems. Yeah, the ending's very abrupt, but it's better than this one. Better than this movie. Go watch, there's so many good ones I'm not even thinking of right now, that if you go watch them, it'll be more worth your time. Hell, Talk to Me was a better Exorcist movie than this. And it really didn't have that much possession in that movie. And technically you could say it wasn't demons, or you could say it was demons, it's up to you. But the point is, possession genre, this genre has been beat to the goddamn ground, along with found footage, so goddamn hard that unless you stick out, you're not going to be remembered. Nothing notable. There's one thing. Okay, I said nothing notable. I will give you one thing. The idea of the point of view of the girl who's possessed while she's in hell. Why the hell would you tease that and not do that throughout the whole movie? That's what made Insidious different, was the whole being in the spirit realm, the in-between, being able to astro project yourself into the next level, the next world. You could do something like that in this movie, but no, they choose not to. For some fucking reason, they choose not to. And this movie has double the budget of some of the other movies I've mentioned. They're more competent, and they're more well-made, and they have more passion. Now, yes, I was actually open to a new Exorcist movie, as I like the Exorcist movies. I really do. You want to bring back Ellen Bernstein? Cool. But the minute that trailer dropped, nothing about it looked atmospheric, creepy, eerie, original. It seemed like they went the safe route and didn't do anything different. And they pulled a Halloween where they announced 2 sequels that are going to be coming out. Apparently, they were going to be coming out soon, but I don't even know if they're going to be happening now. But I cannot just believe how much they whiffled this goddamn ball. There's a lot of dumb moments in this movie, too, now that I'm thinking about it. Like, the ending has a monologue by one of the characters who's wanting to be motivational and inspirational, and because of our faith and our belief, we're going to be getting through these situations. We're going to dominate the world. We're going to do great. I mean, she didn't say that, but you might as well play some, like, inspirational music as she's talking, even though it makes no goddamn sense, because your ass lost to the demon beat you guys, you didn't do anything about what happened, you didn't solve anything, someone died. Why are you being inspirational? You have no goddamn reason to be inspirational right now. You lost! You lose! Good day, sir! I really can't figure out anything good to say other than, like, passable camera work and passable direction. And okay, Ellen Bernstein's acting was pretty decent. It was cool seeing her and Reagan hug, and after all this time we finally get a reunion. But it's at the end of this goddamn movie, after Ellen Bernstein gets blinded, and after she's blinded, she seems fine, she seems dandy, she's just giving speeches. And what is up with the speeches in this goddamn movie? What is it, Halloween Kills? Where we gotta have monologues? Stop it. Please, for the love of God, do not make any more of these goddamn movies. No more. No. If you're gonna go down this route, no more. No more. That's done. It's fucking done. And I swear to God, if they make another goddamn movie, I'm gonna be fucking so pissed. And as I already am. Like, this is the honestly worst horror movie of the year. One of the worst horror movies I've seen in a long, long time. And it is offensive. Yes, I'm mad. Yes, I'm pissed. Yes, I'm upset. Because we got shit like Scream 5 and 6, who's right along with this movie in the goddamn garbage pile, that make this moolah off of titles. That's all the reason of why these movies make money. Titles. I cannot stand movies that have $50 to $60 million and they waste it making nothing. Absolutely nothing. And there are big budget horror movies I love. The Conjuring movies, I at least love Conjuring 2. I really enjoy Conjuring 1. You know, I know Malignant didn't do that well, but I enjoyed that movie. And it was kind of a higher budget movie. I thought The Boogeyman was okay. Hell, The Pope's Exorcist was better than this movie because it knew what the fuck it was. I think what it boils down to, man, with this movie has no goddamn clue what it is, what it was going for, or what it wants to be. It was essentially a movie that people looked at, particularly the studio Blumhouse, and said, oh shit, Halloween was a big hit. Hey, you, buy the rights to Exorcist. And you know what? David Gordon Green did a great job, but we need a script to be written in 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. David Gordon Green, you direct, and we got to get this show on the road. That's literally what it feels like. There's no heart or passion or meaning. And at least they could give us some good gore. Not even good gore. There's a lot of CGI in this movie. CGI looks like trash. There's literally a scene where it's the Battle of the Vapors. You have this chick who does this ritual where she throws this powder into a goddamn fireplace. And she, like, puts this, I don't know, vinegar or something in this girl's head. And the girl literally, this green smoke comes out of her. And I guess it's the demon smoke or some evil smoke, and the chick goes over to the fireplace and has that smoke versus the good smoke versus the bad smoke. It's CGI. This movie's fucking lame. I would rather watch Exorcist 2 and follow some locusts through Africa as they're trying to solve the problem and that try to unpossess people. I would rather freaking watch Exorcist 2 where you got one of the lead actors in the movie reading cue cards. That one actor, Richard Burton, reading cue cards, being drunk while making that movie. I'll go watch that movie. I'll go watch Exorcist 3 any day over this fucking movie. Exorcist 3 is a million times better than this. Exorcist 3 is the true goddamn sequel. And I'm tired of these newer horror sequels that want to be legacy sequels. We care about these movies, guys. We care. No, you fucking don't. The only thing that you're a believer in is our wallets. That's why I didn't go see it in the theater. Because I was going to. I honestly was going to. Because I was, you know what? Let me give it a shot. But no, I got wrong turned again. Again, god damn it. Cannot believe this happened to me again. Wrong Turn did it, now this movie did it. But you know what? I didn't pay for this movie. I watched it on Peacock. So I guess you could say, well, you did pay for it. It's like, well, no, I paid for the whole service. I didn't pay for this movie. There are some people out there that will buy the 4K and shit. And I'm good. If you want to, great. Go ahead. I don't want to. But I wasn't going to pay for this. After I heard the reviews, I went and saw Saw 10, and Saw 10 was an actual good movie. So, and yeah, Saw 10 made less money than this, but Saw 10 is better than this, because Saw 10 was actually made for the fans, actually was fun, entertaining, and gave us gore and practical effects. This movie gave us CGI smoke battles. Fuck this movie. So to get to the very end of this video and say fuck you to this goddamn movie and the goddamn Blumhouse studio for producing this goddamn bullshit, and I really do believe that Blumhouse is truly hit or miss. You got shit like Creep and Creep 2, then you got shit like this and all the fucking Conjuring movies they've been making and all the sequels and prequels and reboots and requels and fucking stupid idiotic shit they've been making to that. And hell, I heard The Conjuring 3 wasn't even that fucking good. Even the fans don't even like that one. So, you know what? Time for a final rating. I can't even fucking talk because this movie is killing my goddamn brain cells as we speak. Out of 5, I'm giving it a 1 out of 5. A 1 because it was cool seeing Ellen Bernstein back. I give a lot of credit to her. She did this movie for a lot of good reasons, mainly for charity, helping young actors get funding. Further careers, making movies, being in movies, acting. She donated a lot of her money that she made off this movie to charities and stuff like that. And then, you know what? I approve of that. You know, that's cool. Her acting was decent. She did a pretty decent job. I wanted to see more of her. I wanted to see a movie with her and Reagan, but no, we didn't get that. We got this other cast of characters who don't even care about it. You got a priest who sets up the exorcism, and then 2 seconds later is like, I can't do it. Like, what the fuck, man? Fuck this movie. But yeah, I gotta get back into positive mode, because if I don't, we'll break this goddamn desk over my fucking head and split my goddamn head open. But to give it a rating, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. Ellen Bernstein, great job. The lead actor did a pretty decent job. It doesn't look particularly terrible. The ending has potential. I like the idea of 2 people being possessed. I like the idea of different religions being used in the exorcism. I like the idea of seeing the point of view of someone in hell when they're being possessed. So I think that's also a thing, is they had some cool ideas and they didn't do shit with it. But 1 out of 5 for me. I'm about to throw up because I just can't stand this movie. But yeah, 1 out of 5. Worst horror movie of the year. One of the worst horror movies I've seen in a long, long time. And hell, I'll go watch Halloween Ends. I'll go watch Infinity Poo Poo. I'll go watch Knock at the Cabin Door. Go watch those and not be in as much pain as I'm in right now after seeing this movie. Will not own this movie. Do not pay money for it. It's on Peacock if you want to see it on there. But yeah, we're going to get into the outro and get into more positive vibes, y'all. I did want to give a big shout out to Terror Threads for this awesome Halloween 4 t-shirt. It's really cool, and I'm glad they gave the movie an awesome tee. Huge shout out. Thanks, Terror Threads. These are also some pretty recent releases that I've picked up. Glad to get them. I got Mallrats, House by the Edge of the Park, Pitch Black in 4K, the Fritz the Cat movies on Blu-ray, as well as Septic, EO, Lars von Trier's Antichrist, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I also want to give a big shout out to my boy Brian Poland for this awesome movie, Septic. He did a great job, man. I also want to do something a little different for the end of these videos and give shout outs to horror tubers that I'm really big fans of. Today's horror tuber shout out goes to Neon Black Reviews. Really enjoy his stuff, great content. If you want to see some awesome horror reviews, check out the description below for the links to his channel. Neil, if you're out there watching, you do great content. So glad to be your friend and also a subscriber. You make great content, and yeah, shout out to your channel, bro. Good job.